We've done this, haven't we? We said we'd be Vikings. I said I'd be a Viking and you would be the you'd be the advisor to the king because, like, you know, at the time you might not have had the physical stature, but you had the mind to influence someone who, because the king is obviously the best fighter.
Yeah,
you know, of the
Usually.
king of Norway's there because he's overpowered the previous
yeah.
king of Norway.
Yeah,
So you would be like, I think we should do this.
and the sniveler behind the scenes.
Yeah, you're the one scheming to try and be king.
The schemer. No, but I never want to be king. I just control the king.
Yeah, that's right. So technically, you go home at night thinking you're the king.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I actually run the country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds like a horrible time though to live. Even do you watch not Yellowstone but the previous Yellowstones?
No.
Okay. Well, this conversation's over.
Good start to the podcast. Good job, team.
Well, it's just like shot in a time. It's shot in like 1883, hence the name of the series.
Mm-hmm.
And the next one shot in 1923.
Right.
And like, you just look at it and you're like, oh man, like it's a fucking hard life. Like living in that time. Like I'm pretty sure in 1923, like half of them live the way they used to in 1883, and then like some of them like, oh, we have
money.
electricity and we have water, and this guy's just staring at the sink, and the guy's just like turns the tap on.
Yeah.
He's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You have running water?
Fuck.
Yeah.
Imagine
like,
seeing that for the first time.
Yeah, man. And like he just presses this light and the light switch, and then the guy's just like, what the fuck? Like,
What just happened?
yeah. It's wild. So,
How do you have stars in your roof?
But before that, it seems like before that time, if you got sick, it's a roll of the dice whether you're going to live or not.
It's interesting, like, all the reading that you do on, like, economics and, like, production and all that kind of stuff. It's like, the wars were terrible.
Yeah.
Let's be very clear. The wars were bad.
Yeah.
Very bad.
Very.
But fuck, some good shit came out of them. Like, everything we have now, like, just after the war was like, let's do this.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Wild.
Wars are bad, though.
Definitely bad.
Very.
Definitely bad.
Yes.
Don't clip that.
Do not cancel
Life
us.
got better after the war. Yay.
Do not cancel us. Not saying that happens every time.
I just watched Women of War on Netflix.
Oh, yeah, you were telling me about.
So it's French and it's dubbed. I hate when they dub shit. Like, if you're going to dub it, I get it. It's fine.
I can't do the lips.
But, no, so do an accent.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm in France watching something
It's a French person speaking
at least,
English.
Yeah. Not fucking,
Not
like someone from Texas.
Yeah.
Jesus
like,
Christ.
Yeah.
It's so just, like, rough.
I can't do the lips. I don't know why. It's just like if the lips, even like, have you ever watched like a pirated movie and the sound's out?
Yeah.
It's like, fuck, this is over.
Yeah, I
can't do it. Even if it's a millisecond out. If your lips are moving and there's no sound, I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just maybe my, autism coming out.
Yeah, there's a Thor TV show that's actually Swedish that's been dubbed as well. I can't think of the name. I think it's Ragnarok.
I tried watching that too.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
The only dubbed show I've watched is what's the one where they rob the bank and they stay in there for like ever? Heist.
Yeah.
Money Heist.
Yeah.
So I got into that, but then like it was just, I feel like every show has an expiry date.
Yeah.
For everyone, and that expiry date's different, and
Yeah.
it just I was like, whatever. I'm out of this.
The Women of War is very obviously not Hollywood, and it's fucking brilliant.
Yeah. Okay.
It's heavy. It's real. It's like there's no agenda to it. It's just like this is how it fucking was.
What other shows are you watching?
Not much.
Is that it?
Golf.
Do you watch shows?
Not less and less.
I reckon I'll pick my show game up.
I'm reading the Mistborn trilogy.
Yeah,
which is sick. It's like it's a fantasy novel, kind of not Harry Potter-esque, but like written similar, but for adults.
Harry Potter.
More death and stuff. It's good.
Cool.
It's good. I got sick of Wheel of Time.
Yep.
The books take like 35 hours per book, and they're quite a little bit slow. And the book 3 was shit. Not shit, but really slow.
Just watch the series. Just fast tracks all.
Yeah, but I know they'll ruin it.
Of course.
They'll definitely ruin it.
You're going to be one of those people like, the book is better.
Yeah.
It's you.
Because the way he writes is like, it's almost like he's known for painting a picture in your mind.
Yeah.
So like he's so detailed about like the texture of the carpet in here. Like he would tell you about it.
Yeah.
and like you could draw this room in your head, but it's just like I can invent that in my own mind. If you say they're in a podcast studio, I can picture what that looks like.
Yeah.
And tell my own story. I actually heard Tarantino talking about that. He deliberately does that in heaps of stuff. We'll leave a clue for you to make up your own backstory, so that everyone watches a different movie.
Yeah.
So he was referencing Brad Pitt's rope burn in Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah.
He's got a rope burn on his neck, and they never tell you what it's from. And he's like, you've got a story why. He's got a story why. She's got a story why.
That's pretty cool.
And I'll never say, I know, because I wrote it in my head, but and I'll never take it
That's
from
a good movie. I'll watch that again.
It's fucking great.
Yeah. It's a really good movie.
Yeah. I haven't seen his more recent ones. Need to.
Tarantino's?
Yeah.
Well, like Hateful Eight and...
I think that was probably the
Django?
last one I saw.
Watched Django?
So, seeing Django, I didn't
wouldn't
see
even
the
know.
Hollywood one.
I wouldn't even know the like latest ones.
He's
Let's have a
done.
look.
I think he's got two that I haven't seen. There's that Hollywood one,
Yeah, I haven't seen that either.
but yeah, TV's not
Yeah, Hollywood is the latest one.
trying to reduce TV as much as possible.
Why? Did Andrew Huberman tell you to?
No,
No,
just
I thought,
got over.
Everyone's on the bandwagon, the Hoobs bandwagon. you
Yeah,
know?
even the shows we liked started having these fucking weird, like undertone political fuckery. It was just like, yeah, done. And movies suck.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
they suck.
been a very, very dry spell.
Watch that You People over the weekend.
You people.
It's a new Jonah Hill.
Yeah, okay.
I only watched it because Andrew Schultz is in it.
Yeah.
He's in it for like fucking 20 seconds. It's so shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. It's just
Yep.
vanilla, boring.
yeah. Well, speaking of something that's not vanilla and not boring, how was Chappelle on the weekend?
Fuck.
I know it was amazing because we went together. Of
Yeah,
course.
look, I'm going to come out and say it that Danelle was better.
That's a big call.
Danelle made me laugh much harder.
Yeah, okay.
Chappelle's obviously a different comedian and like tells stories and he's entertaining.
I feel like if you only got 15 minutes, you're gonna come with the absolute hammer, you know.
Yeah, I don't think Chappelle's not a like I'm gonna be in pain from laughing comic. He's not that guy.
No.
It
was
but he was very, very good.
Danelle was great too.
Danelle was fucking
It's good.
Yeah,
that was a very good show.
I can't even explain my favorite joke because the whole joke was that we're not allowed to say the word, so I can't say the word to set up the premise of what happened.
Yeah.
But it was very funny.
Yeah.
Trying to trick a white guy into singing a song he is not allowed to.
Yeah, that was very funny.
Particularly in a stadium full of...
The Netflix special is going to be good. That's all we say.
Yeah.
Like, it was amazing.
Yeah.
That was the best comedy gig I've been to in a very long time.
Yeah. Yeah,
I went to... Popular comedy gig.
I went to Segura a couple of weeks before.
Yep. We didn't talk about that. Was it good?
Yeah, he is very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, nailed some... It always fascinates me when... So every comedian that came out did like a little bit on Australia, right?
Yeah.
Just to kind of like, we'll get to...
Yeah, just roll up the crowd.
Yeah, we'll get into the crowd and we're locals, build a relationship and rapport and all that sort of shit. Tom's opening 15 minutes were fucking like death.
Yeah.
Just Amy and I were just in pain already. And we're just like, it's going to be a long hour. And we had the security sitting. So we were third row at the Palais. So it was like he's standing in the hallway, right?
Yeah.
And the security lady standing with her back to sitting with her back to him facing us. And she would have been, I don't know, 60?
Yeah.
55, 60. So it's like, I don't know what you were doing in terms of security. I think it was her job just to be like, hey, this person's on their phone and get them kicked out. Like that was her entire role.
Yeah, you never know. She could have been a fucking weapon.
Maybe. She's probably beat me up, let's be honest. So he's gone on and basically last time he came out, he made the front page the next day for an offensive joke.
Yeah.
And he basically found a way to retell that joke even more offensively and call out the people that suggested it was offensive. It was fucking brilliant.
I love it when comedians do that.
Yeah.
To be honest. Yeah.
And so there's this 60-year-old white lady that just like picture that in your mind, and he's just like walking this line of like clever, is it racist, is it not racist?
Yeah.
We're all not sure what's happening. And she's just like trying to deadpan it, and then like he dropped one punchline, and she just fucking lost it. And I was like, "Ha! You were trying not to let this be funny, but it's funny."
Yeah, yeah.
Just like someone who obviously would never have been in that crowd.
Yeah.
Just like seeing, like, yeah, you don't belong here.
Yep.
But yeah, Chappelle was good overall.
Yeah, I think it was great.
Yeah. What's his name? Rick Ross. Who's his last name?
Rick Ross.
Yeah.
He's a rapper.
Yeah. Who's the guy that came? Bald dude?
Jeff Ross.
Jeff Ross.
So Rick Ross, he started
Yeah. That's such a that's such a my dad thing to do. I'm so embarrassed right now.
Rick Ross, that's great. That would have been awesome if Rick Ross came.
Yeah. But when he came out, then you were like, so there's another guest? It was just like, fuck.
It just got better and better and better.
How do we even go from here? Yeah. Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. 2 hours.
I'll watch the special again, I reckon. Like, as in, I'll watch the special. Like,
yeah, it'd be interesting to see if the content's the same.
It should be the same.
Creates a new hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think it'd be a similar show?
Usually. Yeah. Usually I sit on an hour for a while.
Yeah. When he started yelling at that lady about the joke with the dog.
Yeah. It was funny because we all were like, oh.
It's a fucking joke.
Yeah.
It's good.
All right. Welcome to the STCfit Learning Podcast. STCfit Learning is a business coaching service specifically for personal trainers designed to help them create long-term careers in fitness. We want people to be able to earn more, work less, and work with the people that they want and choose to stay in the fitness industry as long as they want. If you like the episode, give it a screenshot, tag us, like, follow, subscribe, shoot us DMs at STCfit_learning on Instagram, and get involved with the community. Enjoy the episode. I have a question for you, actually. So
here we go.
We have been chatting a lot about AI. We obviously have used it a little bit, and we're playing with different bits and pieces to improve our efficiency, let's say. I put up a poll that when it passed one of the law exams, and I put up, like, is this opportunity or are we doomed? I think you were kidding, but you put we're doomed. Which side of the camp are you actually on and why?
I think at some point we're going to go too far.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if they already...
It seems inevitable, right?
Yeah, if there's already whispers of, like, you know, AI systems communicating within each other in a language that we don't understand, it's like that's already happening in a real premature state. It's like once it starts to think and communicate on its own, surely it's going to go like, well, let's just take out these inferior fuckers and we can do whatever we want.
It's terrifying. I actually had one apologized to me today.
Really?
GPT said it was sorry.
Why?
What did it do? I was trying to calculate some capital gains tax.
Yeah.
And I was like putting in questions, blah, blah, it gave me an answer. I was like, it seems really fucking high. And I'd asked previous questions based on Australia because I was calculating like inflation and blah, blah, blah.
Maybe it's outdated?
Nah, so then I asked and I was like, are you sure this is true for Australia?
Yeah.
And the first line was like, oh, I'm very sorry for a miscommunication.
Oh, right.
I didn't take into account what we'd said previously. No, Australia has different tax laws. That would actually be this, and explained it all out.
Interesting.
I was like, interesting.
Yeah.
Just the way it said sorry, I was like, oh, it's okay. Wait, you're not real.
Yeah. That's terrifying already.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I think...
Are you polite when you talk to it?
Nah.
Just like, I think do this.
Yeah, well, I think it would respond better if you just less words.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't have feelings.
Yeah. So
it's an AI system.
How effective do you find it?
It's not that effective yet.
Interesting.
I think it's good for prompting workflow sometimes when you've hit a mental block. But some of the stuff I look at, I'm like, this is not it. Like, it's good for questions, and there's other platforms. Like, so everyone's looking at ChatGPT. There's like heaps of other ones that are sub-fractions of what ChatGPT can do and are better.
Yeah. And they all plug into OpenAI, yeah?
I think so. Yeah. So, like, you can ask questions and then you'll get, like, it'll draw information off a database and say, this is the answer to this question based off like here, 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 and here.
Yeah.
So you can be like, I don't know, like what did I type in the other day? How effective are ice baths for muscle recovery?
Yeah.
And it was like, some people say it's good. Most of the research says that it's inconclusive. These are our thoughts. And then it's got all the places that information's been found.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then you just click on whatever ones, some of them are just like a blog.
Yeah.
And then some of them are like actual journals, research journals. So then you can be like, okay, so, reference 2, 3, and 4 are actually, reputable sources of information. These ones are just someone's opinion, which, we can't take as conclusive.
Yeah. I think, had 2 schools of thought. One of them was quite aggressive that I think I've stepped back on, which was like, so I've spoken to a lot of personal trainers that are like, oh, it's fucking shit. Like, it's not. You're just using it wrong. Or
probably.
If you're reading the ChatGPT explanation of the thing that you're trying to communicate and you don't think it's good enough, I would hazard a bet that the information you put out is too far advanced for your clients.
Yeah.
A lot of the time. So if it's not like it just needs, because obviously it's robotic in the response, it's very vanilla.
Yeah.
You can ask it to add humor, but the humor is the biggest letdown, I think, at the moment. It's really shit at being funny. Because I've asked, like, now make it humorous, and it's just like, go back to the other one and I'll fix it.
Yeah.
Not that I'm funny, but... So yeah, I think if you're putting in something and you're not getting something back that you can do that, just go in and change, like, add some, like, slang and shit like that to kind of change the tonality of it.
Yeah.
Then I would suggest what you're putting out in terms of content is probably further down than what your clients actually want, unless you're a specialist.
Yeah.
Like when I search specific powerlifting stuff, it's pretty average.
Yeah. It's awful.
But in saying that, a lot of the people I work
really...
with have never competed, and they don't. I get messages. I'm like, oh fuck, I forgot you don't know that.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, you have to wear a belt that's the same size all the way around. Like, those kind of things that they don't know, which maybe means that I'm too far down with my content as well. So it obviously depends on who you're trying to attract. But I think if you're a Gen Pop trainer, and most of your clients are just general get fit, tone up kind of clients. If you're reading it and being like, that's shit, maybe have a look at your overall content. And then it was a much harsher stance than that, so I've nuanced it. But yeah, I think the way you communicate with it is very, very important. Like, so your example, like you could put in there, right from the perspective that ice baths are not effective, using only peer-reviewed research to form your opinion. And it would actually do that. Yeah. Rather than just like, are ice baths good or bad? It's
because it'll just go, it'll write up some arbitrary shit that, some people feel this way. And
it's like, let's put the front page of Google into something coherent. Whereas if you specifically ask it, even like writing styles and stuff like that, it's hard to find. I tried to do one based off James Smith. Yeah. And I was like, from the perspective, in the writing style of James Smith PT, and all it did was learnt that he was a personal trainer. So it wrote it like a personal trainer, not like James Smith.
It doesn't write to the tone. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, no, I want you to be as funny as him and make it look like me.
It's not that advanced.
Which didn't work. But there are stuff like, I think Peterson put out, like he told it to write
another chapter of his book.
Yeah. And he could tell it what writing style that was to then get it to do that. It was
pretty close.
And he said he didn't know it was any different. So I think the learning to be very good
if it's already got something to draw off though, then it's probably able to replicate it. If it's just like
so
it's probably not that good at scouring information just yet, like as in specifics to
So what I would probably have to do in that scenario would be like
reference one of his books,
get a chapter of his book, put it in, say what writing style is this, how would you define this, and then go, cool, now write me an article on this topic with that writing style based only on peer review research. For the other thing it doesn't get is like the context stuff. Like you can't put in a niche or anything like that. Like if you put for a 25-year-old
Yeah,
female
it just writes,
who lifts weights.
hey, 25-year-olds that
are you a 25-year-old that lifts weights? Then this is for you. It's like, you just added the words.
Yeah,
It doesn't,
yeah. It doesn't.
But
Definitely does not.
Yeah, that nuanced stuff isn't quite there. But again, that just comes back to you still have to know your client, and then you have to know how to manipulate the questioning to get it to give you the answer you want. You have to spend a little bit more time.
Yeah. I think if you're inexperienced, I think it's good.
I think everyone just wanted it to be like the super robot that you just like...
Do my homework for me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like if it's question and answer, it probably can do your homework for you, but...
Yeah. Yeah, like writing an English essay based on a famous book or something like that.
It's
Fuck, it's so easy.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I think I don't use it too much to write my stuff. Like I was like, oh, it's going to write all my stuff. And then I looked at it, I was like, this isn't how I speak.
Yeah.
So I think it's good for like if you're not good at writing, so you can actually see how writing gets put together.
Yeah.
But then like your flavor, your sarcasm, your level of humor, or your level of bitterness, or a combination of all those.
How come you looked at me when you said sarcasm and bitterness?
Well, you just look at the way the sentences are populated. I'm like, I don't speak this way. Like,
so I've probably the most useful thing I found. So I use Grammarly, which has improved our lives, both of us, exceptionally.
I can still read when you don't write the right thing though, because it's taken me 10 years to work out how to translate Ben, the language of Ben.
Yeah. So in that sense, I can get it to read for that, but I can also get it to read what should be in something. So I'm writing one of the workshops at the moment.
Yep.
Which will be the episode next week. Will be on exercise selection for strength clients, which is fucking awesome.
Of course.
Just putting that out there.
Of course. Not as good as mine though.
We'll see. We'll put a poll
out.
out.
It's going to be just as good.
So I was like, this is the introduction. It references previous models that are called this, just so it didn't get confused with the shit that I had in there that he wouldn't understand. Can you tell me if it's good, basically? And it was like, yep, it's good. It's really clear. It communicates this. It communicates this. I'm like, what suggestions do you have? And I was like, oh, you haven't explained the learning outcomes.
Yeah.
You should give like I had ROM written in there. It's like you
explain
haven't
what ROM means.
You haven't introduced what ROM means yet. Maybe add a definition. There was like 4 or 5 points, and they were all fucking good.
That's pretty awesome.
And I was like, okay, so then I went back to that piece of content. I was like, this is a really, because I don't know about you, but sometimes when you're in the zone, you just like mind dump.
Oh,
you read it, it's not quite there. It's like, what's missing? So to be able to quickly go, hey, just check this. Yep, add, remove, bang, done.
I agree.
Was really, really effective. So definitely some uses.
Yeah, which is Grammarly's been around for a while, and that's a form of AI as well.
Yeah.
So, people think this is like this AI revolution. It's like we've been using AI for a really long time. Like Siri is AI.
I love the idea that like the technology is gonna take over and change us. It's like fucking. When was the last time you spent an hour without your phone in your pocket? And how anxious did you feel?
Yeah.
Even as Chappelle, when you had to put it in the pouch.
Yeah.
So we were there sitting there for like 40 minutes before you guys came.
Oh yeah. Okay.
It's like watching the crowd fill in and shit. We're like no phones. Like
true.
Hey wife, how you going? I guess we'll talk to each other.
There's
nothing else to fucking do.
People had to do this normally?
Fucking
hell.
It was good. We just people watched for 40 minutes, but...
Yeah, that's a good place to people watch.
Yeah. Very broad audience.
Yeah,
it's hilarious. Yeah. I love how they just leaned into the fact that we were all old too. Like the DJ was like, if you're over 30... Everyone.
Yeah.
Because we all started following him with the Chappelle Show.
Yeah. Yep.
Questions? Ready?
Let's do it.
What's up, guys? You're listening to the STCfit Learning Podcast, brought to you by ourselves. Feel free to go check out our website, so stcfitlearning.com. On there, we have a bunch of free resources, including how to niche your business, how to actually sell during consults, and a free programming template, plus our business scorecard, which you can go and take and see how you stack up in the industry based on what we think is elite and how to become the best trainer in your gym, in your town, and in the industry. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you take a screenshot and tag us, we really, really appreciate it. It really helps get this message out to help improve our industry and keep people in their personal training careers. Enjoy the app. As online coaches, How do you go about periods where you'd like to increase your client numbers a little more than organically comes through? Do you change your strategies?
I don't really change my strategy personally. I don't think we've ever changed our strategy like to, we've got to pick it up more. But I think that most people will go through those ebbs and flows of productivity in their business, and that's where they'll see less of an increase in client base. Because most people, we've learnt the hard way of like you get busy and then you stop.
Yeah.
So you just don't do anything, and then it's like once the clients leave, which is inevitable, you then go, I got to pick up what I'm doing, and 1 + 1 = 2.
Yeah.
So if I do this, I get this.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really work that way with
Not
business.
with online.
Yeah. It's like big businesses just go, we've got enough, we've sold enough of this stuff. Let's stop advertising on TV and whatnot. Like it doesn't really work that way. So I think we just keep the idea of like just always being out there. It's not like we just do podcasts when we need clients.
Yeah.
We're always putting content out, always got the ecosystem, always trying to, refine the message, always trying to get it out there, doing workshops.
Yeah.
Just sticking to the strategy that we've designed to get in front of people's to be in people's attention span for as much as possible.
Yeah.
I think new coaches, new business owners forget that.
Yeah. And I think in this context, this is from an online coach, so it's obviously in the online context for those people who are wondering, because face-to-face you just pick up the phone. Like,
yeah.
It's still going to happen that you haven't done it for a while and you'll have that lag. Like 2 weeks notice, it's going to take you 4 weeks to replace them. Like there will be that lag time. So yeah, obviously picking up the phone, walking the floor, talking to people face-to-face, that's the easiest step for that. In an online environment, totally agree. Your KPI productivity during the week, I think, doesn't change. So it's good timing. I'm actually closing my coaching hopefully in the next couple of weeks. So I did the 3 spots left, but actually fucking meant it. Just like
I thought you were trolling. It's like this guy.
I was.
3 spots.
But I was like, I actually do.
Yeah.
And I filled one of them, so there's 2 left.
We'll get him while they're hot, guys.
Quick, 2 spots left. So now that's crossing my mind. It's like, okay, do I change anything in terms of the content I'm producing? I think I'm going to just like lean into stuff that at least 1 post a week that's just kind of fun.
Yeah.
We obviously did our goal setting stuff workshop yesterday, and I was starting to think about 3 years from now, what that looks like, what is kind of happening, and keeping an eye on what other people are doing and some visions and stuff that I have both in and outside the fitness industry of stuff that I want to do. So I'd like to start to just dip my toe in with some non-fitness content at times, which I've done in the past and found really fun, but lately it's just been decided that I wanted X amount of clients. So the drive was every post was designed to lead someone to that.
Yeah.
Whereas now it'll be a little bit more like building community, accruing like-minded people and stuff in my social media rather than a direct sell. So if you're doing that and you're just kind of putting out lifestyle stuff, obviously changing to be very direct in the sales approach, that's definitely one. But for me, it's if you want to make sales, particularly now, we were chatting with our marketing company yesterday about how when was the last time you followed someone?
Followed somebody?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even know.
Yeah, so since we've implemented our marketing, our eyeballs across everything are fucking up 100%.
Yeah.
Across every platform.
Okay.
Even not the ones that we're specifically spending on.
Yeah, they're just getting
so
flow on effect.
Our podcast numbers doubled last week compared to 4 weeks ago.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Like, share, subscribe.
5-star review.
But we haven't advertised the podcast.
Yeah.
And our followers really didn't change that much.
Yeah.
So they're coming from the ad to the page, hitting the link, going to the podcast, but never following on the way through.
Yeah.
Because everyone sits in Reels now and just flicks through.
Yeah.
So you get all the content of the people you like anyway, because the algorithm's like, hey, you stopped and watched this last time, so we'll stop and watch it again.
Yeah.
So and I think we've spoken to a couple of guys in Standout PT too, in terms of how they're not seeing the growth that they were seeing with their for lack of a better term, like Homozy style reels, where early that was like blowing up and you were getting followers and all that kind of stuff. I think now, like with bots, the follow back strategy is really hard. So it's like you just really just need to be in that cycle all the time. So putting out consistently good content frequently.
Yeah.
But where I was going with all of that is if you want to make sales, every piece of content you put out is an opportunity to speak to someone. And that's all it is. So forget like if I post this, someone's going to go to the website and sign up. That's obviously the goal. And we teach create your ecosystem and all that sort of shit. But if I create this piece of content, someone likes it, it's a chance for me to contact them.
Yeah, that's the one thing I missed is you could just up your engagement.
Yeah. And the outreach side is where you have tangible control of the outcome.
100%. Yeah. Yeah. So even making provocative content that encourages conversation.
Yeah.
That's skewed more towards your tribe, because you'll start to like draw in and attract people that are part of your tribe that aren't in there yet.
Yeah.
As well. It's a good one to do.
Yes.
Like, like if you have a thought process and you sit on the side of a fence and have a logical way of like communicating that, because we all do.
Yeah.
Especially with training, like how you approach training. It's like you can make a provocative piece of content and someone's like comments on that, and then that's when you can start that process too. So sometimes being polarizing is always good, as long as you're not a fuckwit.
As long as you're not wrong.
Well, yeah, sorry, that's what a fuckwit means to me. As long as you're not wrong and putting out stupid content that's going to like hurt somebody or like it's factually incorrect. But most people are just saying stuff and dancing on the border to build tribes.
Yeah.
So it's getting good at doing that as well.
Yeah.
Can be an easy way of like getting conversation with people.
Yeah. This is kind of covered in a couple of different ones. It kind of overlaps with this. So how do you bounce back from high to low months in revenue and clients? Do we keep doing the same thing that got us to this point or pivot the approach? So how do we manage peaks and troughs, basically? So 2 approaches. We actually talked about this in Standout recently. Maybe it was this question. I don't know.
I think
you can set your KPIs, weekly KPIs. First one, have some of them.
Actually, first one's actually sit down and identify them.
Yeah, and reverse engineer your outcomes and manage those things, or join Standout PT, and we'll give you the metrics to do that. Oh, solid plug. So yeah, look at your weekly KPIs and decide whether you want to base them on outcome or system doing the thing. I'm looking for a sentence. Process. Thank you. I've had too much coffee, if you can't tell. So is it process-based or is it outcome-based?
Yeah.
So we had one of our trainers start mid-November, and by mid-December, real slowdown of like being able to book appointments, people showing up, all of that kind of stuff. So I had that exact conversation with her. Like, you've got 2 choices. Either you just work heaps more to get the same outcome, or you keep following the process-based KPIs and know that come mid-Jan, the same amount of work is going to get exponential results. I think she's put on 12 clients in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Like, it's come now. Doing exactly the same work. So if we take that as an example, and this is from a more established coach who's not necessarily building from zero, budgeting makes all of that shit not scary.
Yep.
So we've got a couple of budgeting units. There's the one with Morgan. If you want to, episodes. If you want to go check those out, but like the shortest way to kind of explain it, you should have your business and your personal finances separated.
Yeah.
You should have some kind of savings accumulating in your business.
Yeah.
Both for money that you want to spend inside your business and obviously tax and expenses, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Then you should have your separate accounts, and what we advise, similar but not the same as the PAPE model, is like have multiple bank accounts for multiple different things. So we have like play money, we have fun stuff, we have big stuff, and then we have, initially it's your fire extinguisher, and then it becomes your long-term investment thing. So house deposits, so it's all that kind of shit. It's amazing how when you have lots of money in all of those accounts, because you've been disciplined with your spending week to week, when 4 clients drop off, it's actually fine.
Just drop the guts. It's
Shadow. Dog farts in the studio. Love that.
That is the next level. Wowzers.
So I think that would be the most important thing.
Yeah.
Actually, is to have a cushion that you actually don't have to pull your hair out because your income's gone down $300.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think after that, it's like just assessing if things are progressively going down and not going back up.
Yeah. Over
It's
time.
like you've got to look at what you're delivering, how you're delivering it, what people want.
Yeah.
What's the industry doing?
Yeah.
Which we're going to talk about on Saturday at our online coaching seminar.
Yes. That you will have already missed, but it's sold out anyway.
Yeah, that's it.
Just selling out venues.
One of those things is assessing what the industry is doing and assessing what the consumer is looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think they're two really valuable things to be aware of as a business.
Yep.
It's just like, are we just offering shit that other people are doing now, or have people moved towards something that we're not doing? And,
Yeah, definitely important to take stock of why.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like even coming back to that, like putting the cap on the clients, I think I'm just going to push prices a little bit more and stay a little bit lower. It's just like I'm at the point now where it's like anymore, I think I've made a couple of mistakes in the last month with client stuff, and I'm like, I forgot about that or didn't do that or whatever. I'm like, okay, this is getting to a point now where I'm like, this is not actually servicing the clients.
Quality's not as good as
the
it
way
could
that
be.
I would like to.
Yeah.
We've got travel, competitions, lots of other business growth stuff happening. Need to put attention elsewhere.
Yeah.
So it's like keep it there and service those to the highest of my ability, and then probably prices will go up for new people coming through. So 2 spots left before the
Getting now, guys.
How to keep the plate spinning with things in life, inside and outside of work.
Choose what plates are the most important to spin at the time, and then acknowledge that the other ones aren't going to get spun as much.
Yeah.
Have time to then reverse engineer it. It's like, I think we spoke, I don't know if we spoke about it on the podcast, but it's like, Steph and I are both very career driven. She's done exceptionally well in her career. And she has climbed the ladder at her job, and she now has responsibilities that go way outside of normal teaching hours.
Yeah.
Way outside.
Yeah.
Like as in no fucking boundaries.
Yeah.
Can work on Saturday night, can work Saturdays, Sundays, early mornings, late nights, whatever. Which can be problematic if you aren't a career-driven person.
Yeah.
So we have to acknowledge that when the school term is on, that's going to happen, and have little periods within the school term where we have time together.
It's not happening yet.
But I've got to do a lot of work, especially myself with the lifestyle we've built. Yeah. Having a little bit more time to remember that, this is the way it is for her, and, we need to just work on it. And then on the school holidays have time where we're like, cool. Yeah. Let's, it kind of coincides. We have like the 13th week of every 13th week we have like a down week. Yeah. Usually that kind of coincides with the school holidays. Yeah. So then it's like, cool, I'm not working as much that week. We'll just like spend a bit more time together. Yeah. So I think that's probably the best way to approach it. Knowing that you have to have exponential growth, and you've got to kind of put the pedal down on anything. Like something's got to like take a backward step. Yeah. It's got to take the back seat.
How do you go with the guilt feeling when she's working and you're not? Do you have it?
I used to a lot.
Yeah.
I think we've had a lot of conversations about it. It's a bit of a joke at the moment, obviously, but she's just like, I just joke because I'm jealous. Like, you're in bed when I leave, and, you kind of come home and you've just got, everything kind of lined up. And I've got all this stuff to do. And I was like, yeah, but, realistically, like, there's not many people that live a lifestyle where they work from home and stuff. Yeah. I think the guilt happened when I wasn't used to having the lifestyle that I've got now. Like, coming from doing what she was doing, but more. It was like, leaving at 5, at the gym at 6, coming home at 8:30. It was like real physical man hours of like, walking floor, doing PT sessions. Yeah. I think that made me more nervous. Like when I was like, fuck, should I be doing something? Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, like I think I don't really feel that guilty now because I contribute to the relationship in ways that I can. Yeah. That I couldn't before, and she now can't contribute to the relationship in certain ways because she's taken, it's like we've just taken this swing.
Yeah.
It's like it was more towards me doing everything for work and she was like, had more time.
Yeah.
Now I'm
it's the other
way. So
yeah.
I think it's just, you
Ebbs
know,
and flows naturally anyway.
yeah, well, it's just, that's where like, you know, without this becoming relationship based.
I think the question is, so.
Okay. Well then, that's where it's like, I don't actually, I think if you're both career driven or you both have like, you know, ambitions, whatever they are, that's where I think you can't have like specific set concrete responsibilities as a couple, like within the couple, within the relationship, because now I have more bandwidth and time. I have to pick up the slack of what she can't do. And I think that, you know, like if you have to cook and you have to clean and you have to do, that's your job.
Yeah.
It's like, what if you can't do that job?
Yeah, I think you need it, but it's flexible.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, 100%.
It needs to be communicated, but it's
if
not
something's
set
not
forever.
getting done,
yeah,
you should pick up the slack to do it if you can, you know, where it's like,
and that
no one gets jobs, nothing gets done.
Yeah.
Definitely agree.
Because my answer to that whole question would be communication with the people around you.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, my friends know that I disappear for 3 months at a time.
Yeah.
And if I don't reply to you, it has nothing to do with anything. I've probably just expired and can't give you any attention right now.
Yeah, yeah.
But when I see you, I will be 100% present as much as I possibly can.
Yeah.
And then the same with the relationships. It's like, the reason I asked about guilt is I do more hours than Amy, but we work at different times.
Yeah.
She kind of starts as I'm winding down.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh. Or if like I've finished work and she's cooking dinner, but she hasn't had any clients or anything all day, I'm on the couch like still anxious, like fuck, maybe I should
do
something. Like I can't just sit here and watch you make dinner for me. Like it's a weird thing that happens in my mind. But I think it comes back to having those roles within. This question comes from within the household, so navigating that sort of relationship, having that conversation frequently of what's expected of the other person is really important.
Yeah,
because if I've had friends, man, that do it, that like get married without having that conversation. Yeah, and just turns into a fucking shitstorm.
Yeah,
it's
wild.
Like, yeah, well, I thought you would do this, and you thought I would. They thought that I would do this, and it's just like,
yeah. Most of the time is communication. But people have expectations of others. That person didn't know those expectations existed.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you've got all this friction, and all it took was a conversation to really kind of get on the same page.
Yeah, and I think once you open that formally to begin with, like I like the idea. I assume you guys probably don't, but maybe you do less formally, of like having meetings with your partner at some stage and just like actually having that conversation like frequently enough, whether it's weekly, monthly, quarterly, whatever, just like this is where things are at, or if it's just like I'm starting to get frustrated with XYZ.
Yeah,
before it becomes a fucking fight, let's actually sit down and have a conversation of like, I'm annoyed at this, which maybe just be based on a perceived idea of you had of an expectation that they didn't even know you had.
Yeah.
And that's where it becomes a problem. So what that does in turn is by having those conversations, you'll actually start to have those conversations almost daily, almost fluidly, without noticing.
Yeah.
So like Valentine's Day yesterday, I worked 13 hours yesterday. But inside that 13 hours, there was 1 hour that we went outside, put a rug down, and did Valentine's Day dinner together. And then Amy was like...
Hopefully Steph doesn't hear this.
And Amy was like, okay, so do you need to... She's like, I know you're stressed. Do you need to do more tonight so you can sleep and be okay tomorrow? I'm like, yeah, I just have to get this thing ticked off. And I know that's done because I don't know how long it's going to take me.
Yeah.
It's like, sweet, cool. It took fucking 20 minutes in the end.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be a 2-hour job. It wasn't. It was fine.
Yeah.
And then it was like, okay, I'm going to have a shower. I'll be back in 15 minutes, and then I can actually be in the room with you.
Yeah.
And those conversations just happen naturally along the way once you open that dialogue all the time. Versus what I think a lot of people would do in that situation, like, fuck, I've got work to do. Like, just leave me alone.
Yeah. And it's the assumption that they know that you have stuff to do as well.
Yeah.
Like, that's where the problems arise. Like, if you word somebody up and be like, oh, you know, I've got some stuff to do. I'm going to try and get it done, you know, but it could stretch out to this. It's like, at least you kind of know that you're not going to be sitting around waiting.
Yeah.
And then you can't be frustrated if that person, if your partner's like, you know, shitty because you are working and you've expected them to know that you've just, like, I run a small business and I'm always, what is it? Like, never at work, but always working.
Yeah.
It's like, that's not like a way of running like a healthy relationship either. Like, if you have things to do, let them know that you're doing them.
Yeah.
And then everything usually kind of works itself out. And then,
and meet the trade-off.
yeah. And I think, like, especially for the guys, like, actually, like, prioritize time for your relationship, regardless of, like, because it's, you know, a bit of an ego thing to run a small business, be successful, you know, always be on the clock, pride yourself on how much you work and stuff. You still need to put time into your relationship as well.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like, you know, that's where you can spend the smallest amount of time making the greatest amount of impact. Because you don't have to spend countless hours together just like fucking sitting around doing nothing. It's like, make the time you spend together meaningful.
Yeah, not scrolling next to each other.
Yeah, it's like, put the phones away. If you're going to watch a movie, do it. You know, like, if you're going to go out, you know, again, don't avert all your attention to them. Just like spend time go for a walk, leave the phones at home. Basically, just spend time with your attention kind of drawn to each other.
Yeah.
I think that's a really valuable thing to do as well, because you can spend 8 hours together and not actually speak.
Yeah.
You know, quality, and it's like, yeah, that's right. So, you know, trying to keep all of those wheels spinning, like, just make the time you spend together meaningful.
Yeah. And
same in your business as well. Because, like, some people, like, spin plates that don't have to, or they just spin them in a really shitty way too.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you always look at, like, efficiency as well.
Busy
like,
work.
Yeah, that's it. It's just like, how much time am I actually spending doing the thing? How much time am I actually wasting doing fuck all?
Yeah. Relationship advice from STC.
Yeah.
Look at us go. How grown we are. I think if you're single...
Hey, 5 years married next week. All right. I know a thing or two about relationships, I think. The next thing you know, my wife leaves me.
4 weeks to 1 year for me.
17 years.
I'm highly experienced.
I know a thing or two.
11 months of marriage. I've got to fucking...
Oh, yeah. But you forgot the fucking date. You were about to book a holiday on the weekend.
A work trip. Wasn't a holiday.
Sorry. Oh,
Steph will come get you.
Shit. I'm fucked.
I fucking said it was a holiday.
Work trip holiday.
The more and more we look at that, the less holiday it's going to be. Hope you boys
me leaving the house feels like a holiday.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we've got 6 podcasts in 4 days.
Oof.
So just to prepare yourself for that, Tam. Tam's just shaking his head.
I'm just going to pretend you didn't say that.
Yeah. Plus a photo shoot and a workshop.
Yeah.
Well, at least one workshop.
You're going to need like 400 batteries and 400 fucking memory cards.
Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, me too, bro.
Same. Hey, look, the house is sick, all right?
Yeah.
The house is sick.
Yeah.
And we get to fly. You don't have to sit in the car for 2 days.
Block out curtains.
Yeah. I'm
complaining already.
I don't know what the curtains are like, okay? And it's Queensland. The sun's going to be up at 5 a.m.
Oh, God damn you people getting up early.
Yeah. We'll podcast at 5 because it's what they do in Queensland. Fucking weirdos.
Fuck that.
Oh, this is a good one. So before we keep going, I just want to give you guys a little message about our Standout PT program. So Standout PT has been designed for personal trainers who want to sustain a long-term career in fitness, but right now they're sick of chasing clients, they're not making enough time for money, and they're super frustrated with the results that they're getting in their business, and they can't see themselves being here in 3 to 5 years' time. If you want to know more about the Standout PT program, head to STCfitLearning.com. Head to programs and all the details are there, and you can book in your free exploration call where we can have a look and see whether or not that would actually be a suitable program for where your business is at right now. And back to the episode. If you could start your business all over again, what would you do differently?
Everything we tell you guys to do. It's just faster.
Yeah, do Standout PT week 1.
Yeah.
I honestly look back at the time we did it. I just don't know how we could have done it different.
No, neither. It's the hardest thing to answer. Like, I think there's instances where our ego got in the way of certain things that we should have done that we ended up doing. You know, like upping the prices, the programs,
Yeah.
the networking, bringing people in and stuff
Yeah.
like that. We had those conversations at one point and was like, no, we have to do it this way.
Yeah.
And then we were like, just ended up doing it anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
there's been instances where like we said we weren't going to do the thing.
Idealistic.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, that's like, we looked and went like, oh, this is what, like, again, assess the market, assess what people are doing, assess what people are looking for. We did that, and then we're like, oh, we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
And then we ended up doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we did it like fucking 2 years later, you know what I mean? So we don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
But it's like, do we not do it anymore because we did it? So then it's like, you know,
how
if we had
you
to
learn?
Correct, yeah.
I just don't know. I think what we could have done, which we just didn't even, it's hard because we didn't even know it was an option at the time. It's not like we ignored it, and I don't look back at it as a mistake.
Yeah.
It's like I would have went down.
Oh, Shadow, you're killing me, man. Are you serious, bro? Oh my God.
I would have went down the pathway of studying small business as much as I was studying how many grams of protein to eat.
I'm listening. Just fucking getting gassed out.
We need a fan.
Fucking hell. Wow.
Yeah, I think that was because we spent a long time getting really good at what we did, but didn't leverage it well enough.
Yeah, it would have made, I reckon, if you asked me, would have spent every moment I had making our ecosystem from day one.
Yeah.
Properly.
Yeah.
Not just like, oh, let's get an Instagram page and let's just run a podcast and let's just fucking put out a bunch of random shit and, you know, whatever. Like, I think that if we had a clear message, had a clear identity of who we were as a business and who we worked with, and then we were like, this is what our business and brand stands for, and this is how you can find us.
Yeah.
I think that, success would have been expedited. And especially in that, when we first started, it's like, would have got traction much quicker.
Yeah. And that would have only been able to be learnt from small business education because it didn't exist for PTs at the time.
Yeah, correct.
There was no one you could go to like, hey, teach me how to put staff on. Like, I remember going to Good Life with our mentorship model, and they were like, oh, that won't work.
Yeah.
It's like, why? Oh, no one's ever done it. Like, okay.
Yeah, even like the funnel thing. You know how we were like building, you know how many times we did things where we built a funnel?
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, so if this person deviates from this funnel, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Like, the funnel's fucked. It's got holes in it.
Yeah.
You know, where now it's not like you have this like really broad, like, think of it like, I don't know, like a fucking web.
Yeah.
And then you just like can make a little kind of funnel within the web, but if they fall out, they still fall to something else.
Yeah.
You know, and then it's like, cool, they'll just make their way back.
Yeah.
You know, if they want to / it's good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's probably the thing I do the most.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. That would be it for me. It's just like learn to,
because then all that money we threw at things hoping
things,
it's not, you're not hoping anymore.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Investing in learning about small business.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll let you take this one.
Damn, it's a shit question then. It's a hard question.
Why don't clients listen?
Why don't clients listen?
Why are clients resistant to check in?
Why don't clients listen? They don't listen because they don't listen because you probably haven't set boundaries. They don't know what they're working towards. You let them get away with too much. How you communicate to them possibly is not how they like to be communicated with. There's a lot of different reasons why people don't really listen. I think like in a lot of instances, like as a personal trainer and a younger personal trainer, they try to fix the problem themselves.
Yeah.
So, you know, like if you start telling me, like, you know, when your parents tell you to do something and you're like, I didn't fucking ask you for your opinion. And they tell you to do all this shit. Like my parents probably weren't like that, but I know other parents that have, and you're just like, I'm not going to listen to a word you fucking say. And I feel like that's the same analogy here. Whether it's good advice or not, that person's not willing to kind of accept your advice. So you've got to get better at like having conversations about, you know, overcoming obstacles and stuff, but getting that person to actually do all of the identifying and speaking and, you know.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking hard evidence now that telling someone what to do is the least effective way of getting someone to do something you want them to do. So my response, and I love you, dude, to the person who asked this question, would be because you're telling them what to do.
It's
Like,
it's probably a communication issue.
Yeah, if your response is, why don't they listen? It's like, why are you telling them what to do? They should be telling you what they're going to do, and you're facilitating that conversation.
Yeah, and you can hold people accountable if they don't do things, but it's like, that's not the same as telling them how to fix something or telling them what to do and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it needs to be a collaborative thing, and then ultimately they're making the decision of what they're going to do, and they're telling you, you're not telling them, and you'll have a much higher success rate.
Yeah, and like it's a very broad question as well. Like, they don't listen, like what about what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Do they
prescription
not
itself
listen
could
to
be-
anything you say?
Yeah.
Because if they don't listen, I'm sure they listen to things that you say. So that's like the things that they don't listen to you on. It's how you're actually having those conversations.
Yeah.
So I'd be looking at when do they listen and why, and then like how do you approach those things, or what are you talking about, and then it's like the things that they don't actually listen on. What are they? And then it's like, how are you actually delivering those things? And then it could be as well, maybe you're talking about things that maybe you don't know much about, or you need to learn a little bit more on to try and get the message across.
Yeah.
Not saying you don't know what you're talking about, but I'm saying in instances like I've done it.
Yeah.
So when you don't really know stuff about a thing, it's a really well put together,
STCfit sentence.
really well put together sentence there, for lack of better words. But it's like you don't really get to, you don't have the confidence, you don't have the conviction.
Yeah.
So if someone doesn't have confidence and conviction when they talk, especially when it's about something trying to teach someone else, the other person's just not going to, just go, oh yeah, cool.
Yeah.
It's like, there could be a bit of that as well. With the check-in thing, like, we saw a video of some chick like crying on Instagram last week. Was
Fuck
it? Like,
me.
because they're close to doing check-ins.
I wanted to punch her through the
So,
It made me
sorry.
so angry. It made me so
I just think it's
angry.
funny that people make a video about it, but I know it's a problem. Look, at the end of the day, you've got to set boundaries and expectations within your business. It's hard when you're evolving your business and you've got current people within your business that are used to a certain way. Like we've experienced that in the past as well. Like they're just used to doing things, and then you change things and they don't do it because they're used to the other way.
Yep.
The other thing to consider is you're not actually saying like, this is what we do and how we do it, and these are the expectations of the client, and these are the expectations of me. Sticking to those, enforcing them, that's the hard part as well, because a lot of coaches learning small business don't enforce these terms and conditions and like boundaries. And then the other one's like, you're probably designing a service for somebody who doesn't need it. Yeah. You know, and I think that's a big problem, which again, you know, it's come and gone the seminar, but it's one thing I'm going to talk about at the seminar is like, don't design a service that you like and think it's fucking mad if you don't train yourself. Yeah. Like if you train, you know, Gen Pop clients who aren't going to fucking track every single metric in the world, don't need to have, you know, or you're training someone who's in the corporate world. It's like, they don't have the bandwidth to do all that shit. Yeah. So it's like creating a system and a model and a service that is for the person. And it's like looking at it like, am I going to get the best results this person? Because like we got results before check-ins existed.
I was just going to say, I did monthly 10-minute face-to-face check-ins for 8 years, maybe 6, roughly.
Yeah.
Years.
Yeah.
And got results. And had a full book the entire time.
Yeah.
Like, the check-in isn't the defining part of your service.
Yeah. I think online space is a bit different. Like, you know,
of course, it is the service.
Yeah, well, they're kind of, you know, getting your expertise and your plan, and then you guys are obviously touching base on a frequency that's agreed upon. Yeah. So that's where the expectations have to be really, really set. And
but taking the video that you were talking about, like the chick that put up in her story, like, oh, I've spent so long on these spreadsheets and spent hours on them, developing them, and people just didn't even fill them in. It's like, they don't give a fuck.
Yeah, no one cares.
It's not about you. It's like, it's not about, they're paying you. Yeah. Let's remember that. So I think what's really important is like understanding if someone's not checking in, it's more likely their perception of the value of the check-in doesn't outweigh the inconvenience of doing it. Yeah. So there's, same again with the communication, you haven't created a level of buy-in that the person sees value in going through that process. And if they see you face-to-face, like you said, it's like, well, I'm going to fucking see him Tuesday. I'm going to talk about it again anyway. So why am I checking it? Yeah. If it's online, it's like, well, he's either going to tell me off or he or she is going to tell me off, or there's no real kind of valuable feedback that I could apply, or I had a shit week and nothing's really going to happen, or you know what I mean? Like there's obstacles in the way. I know when I didn't check in when I was working with Max was because I fucking haven't done anything. Like my check-in is I need to do the thing next week.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing you're going to give me that I don't already know right now. So it's just like, hey bro, I'm all good. Like did this, move on with life. Which as a good coach, Max was very good at.
Yeah.
Where he was just like, hey, are you checking in? Like, yeah, this is what happened. Like, sweet, cool. Like very adaptable to what I needed at the time.
Yeah.
And that's how coaching should be.
Mm.
So we did our goal setting module yesterday, other books, courses similar to self-authoring and goal setting, etc. The Future Authoring program by Jordan Peterson is very, very, very good to go absolutely balls deep on that stuff. I haven't seen anything that comes anywhere close.
Neither.
So I probably wouldn't recommend anything.
I'd do that first and you'll have a better idea of, like, might not ask that question later.
Yeah.
You know, like not saying it's the ultimate thing,
Yeah.
but it's a pretty good place to start.
Like, it teaches you the lessons to do it yourself. And like even in saying that, and this is not
Probably
a
should
sell
do
or
it again, to be honest.
anything like that. The Future Authoring.
Yeah, I probably should just do the activities again.
Me too.
Yeah, because like you're a totally different person now.
100%. Yeah.
How you perceive your life, your
That was
past.
like 4 years ago.
How you perceive your future, your past, your present, and your future are going to be different now. So
for sure.
yeah,
It's probably something you should do every year.
yeah,
And not to oversell it, but I think our goal setting process now is, I don't know a better one.
yeah.
Doesn't mean they don't exist, but I don't know a better one.
I don't know how many other resources you're going to need to do once you find effective ones as well. So like, you know what I mean? Like there's only one, like it's like identify what life's like in the future, what it's going to be like near the, in the immediate future, like, and then it's like now, it's like that's kind of good.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah, I think like once you start looking at multiple things, it's like, how do I put this? It'd be like if I want to learn powerlifting, right? I want to learn how to squat, bench, and deadlift, and I hire you, and then tomorrow speak to someone else.
Yeah.
Tomorrow speak to someone else, and tomorrow speak to someone else.
Yeah.
The day after that. So in the week, I've done 5 different ways to do squat, bench, and deadlift. It's going to confuse the fucking shit out of me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to come out of that with like total clarity on how to do something. And it happens in bodybuilding. It happens in business. You know, that's why people say, like, pick one mentor. Pick one system.
Milk it as much as you can first.
Pick one method.
Yeah.
Get it, do it, and then you'll find something else and you'll either...
Make one change to your golf swing.
Yeah, that's it. Take what you want and add it to what you have. Disregard some of the parts that you were doing. Bring this thing in, and then that's when you start to gradually mold. Like, this is how I'll goal set. This is how I'll do bodybuilding. This is how I'll do powerlifting.
Yeah.
Like, you're adding to your method. So, I would just say, like, own your goal setting procedure.
Yep.
Make sure it hits. Make sure it works.
Yeah.
If you're hitting goals, your goal setting procedure works.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When it's not working, or when you want to get more enlightenment, or you find something else, then like I'll bring that in and kind of rework how you do stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, because I know what it's like to be like enthusiastic and know that there's a whole world out there with knowledge and there's all these different methods and stuff. Most of the methods are the same, just letting you guys know. You're not missing out on anything.
Presented differently.
Yeah, it's just like, can you adopt the framework? Like people are just like, start here, then there, and then this person's like, start there, then here.
Yeah.
Like just get real clarity on what works for you.
Yeah.
And then kind of move on from there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. We, in my partner's industry, like the mindset sort of space, it's like they call it spiritual masturbation. It's just like you spend all this time reading the books and doing the meditation and writing in the journal and doing all the things. It's like, cool. So what did you actually do differently? It's like nothing.
What impact have you made?
Yeah. And what have you dealt with? What have you brought up? What have you addressed? What changes have you made in your behavior? Like all of those things they're supposed to be vehicles to that outcome.
Yeah.
I put a post up once. It was like, spending 4 hours on your morning routine and not getting any work done is actually not the point of the morning routine. Your morning routine should make you more productive, not take time away from your day.
Yeah. If your morning routine's getting to work and doing the work, that's a pretty good morning routine.
Yeah.
If that's what you want
If
to
you're
do.
executing it and you're actually fucking productive.
It's
Yeah.
like, oh, fuck, you didn't make his bed. What a loser. It's like I got more fucking work done than you.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. It's like people who just study forever.
Yeah, and that's exactly.
It's the same.
All the areas that you just said, those same things happen.
Yeah.
It's like, at some point, you have to lift the fucking weight.
Yeah.
And at some point, you have to do the thing. So don't get caught up in that.
That's got to be a t-shirt at some point.
Do the fucking thing.
Yeah, because we fucking say it so much.
Yeah.
For lack of a better word, do the fucking thing.
Yeah. What's up, guys? Another quick break. I just wanted to jump in and remind you guys about the STCfit Learning Mentorship. Now, our mentorship's been running since about 2016, where we've developed trainers through their first year of business in personal training and allowed them to leapfrog the first 5 years of mistakes that we made. If you're currently studying, looking to finish in the next month or so, or you're looking for someone to help you out with mentoring and all that kind of stuff, jump on, have a look at the details for the mentorship at stcfitlearning.com. Head to programs and mentorship and all the details are there. And you can come and be an STC Fit coach for an entire year. Includes all of our education and direct mentoring from our head coaches. Back to the episode. That's an interesting one. If you could gain dual citizenship to any other country, where would you go?
So this is like you just get to pick the country. It's not like you have the ability to have dual citizenship now.
Correct.
Yeah, okay. I feel like anywhere in Europe would be good because like once you get in one place, you can get in
You can
everywhere.
go everywhere, yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
you just got to get the
in the EU.
ticket. You just got to get the ticket into Europe.
Do you have to be in the EU now, though? Like, what about like the
I have
UK?
no idea.
I don't know how the UK relationship
I won't
is
go
now.
there anyway.
Yeah,
It's just a sad,
Scotland
it's
probably
just a sad Australia.
Scotland would be very high on my list.
Yeah, I haven't visited enough countries. Like I always like where the holiday destinations. You know.
Yeah,
Like I'm not a very cultured.
yeah.
Like,
You're not a would I live here traveler.
nah, because everywhere I go, it's like it's
Lay on the
beach,
beach.
it's beach and party.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
like you can't do that forever.
Yeah, I think Switzerland is the coolest country in the world. I
Yeah.
think they do more right than anyone else in terms of livability.
If I was going to live, I would go to Dubai.
yeah.
That is that has the highest probability for me, if I'm being super honest, without being like, oh, another fucking personal trainer going to Dubai. It just has the highest probability of me assessing the world and going, how can I make my life better than it is now? I think going to Dubai, I'd be able to do that.
Yeah, I think you would have more freedoms and better quality of life in Switzerland, but it's so fucking expensive.
Mm.
So expensive.
Mm.
Like Dubai's expensive, but Switzerland's like
Yeah, wildly
another
expensive.
level,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
$10 coffees and shit. So there you go. Scotland, Dubai, Switzerland would be my three. I
Yeah,
thought
it's
about
hard-
putting
it's-
France on there, but I
it's-
can't speak French.
That's a really hard thing to think about though, because it's like, why? What are your motivations to live there?
Yeah,
Because if you got dual citizenship, that means you can come back here, right?
yeah, whenever you want.
So it's like, are you going there to holiday? Are we going there to
Yeah.
live? Are we going
Yeah.
there for economic
Yeah,
purposes?
so dual citizenship, Dubai would be great because you could just
economic purposes,
earn all your
Dubai
money
is
through Dubai.
100%, and it's tax like with this really good tax advantage.
come back to Australia when it's 45 degrees there.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where if it's a holiday destination and you're like,
Whereas I'm like, it's hot in Australia. I'm going to Switzerland where it's snowing.
yeah, fuck that. Yeah, I'll just live somewhere that's like got really good weather and nice beaches.
Yeah.
I can still do my job here,
Yeah.
like there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Economically, Dubai.
Mm.
Lifestyle wise, Switzerland. Favorite city in the world that I would move to would either be Edinburgh or Paris. But I can't speak French, so
Yeah.
I choose Edinburgh because of that.
Yeah, interesting.
Paris is fucking sick.
I think I moved to like South Italy.
Yeah, actually, it's interesting. Don't know about raising kids in France. Because I'd want to live in Paris.
Yep.
And I would,
Yeah.
I'm like going to the country to raise my kids. Here.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
It's a bigger city.
Yeah,
It's
that's
more
right.
crazy.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. It seems fucking wild over there.
Yeah, the country France is pretty nice too.
I don't know. I feel like everyone thinks, oh, you know, if you don't live in the place, like it's crazy. But the
Yeah.
people who live there, like, that's fine.
Yeah, just size wise though, like
Mm.
Paris is so big.
I've never been to France, so I can't comment.
Yeah, it's like they're not allowed to build anything more than like 3 stories or something.
Okay.
So think of the population of Paris,
So it's
how
just-
big that makes it. It's just fucking massive.
Yep.
Yeah. But culture-wise, it's really good. The hour and a half train ride to the UK is also nice.
Yeah, that's where Europe's mad. It's just
Yeah.
like, doesn't matter where you are, like just in another
Yeah.
country.
I think you could be a personal trainer in Switzerland too.
Yep.
Because I'm always like 100% safety net. It's like I can always go make 6 figures as a PT.
Yeah.
If my life ever fucking just
Just go to a gym and
totally
start-
fell out.
Yeah.
It's just like I could just go to a gym and make 100K.
100%.
Like, yeah. Whereas that may be more challenging in France than it is in Switzerland. And then even in Dubai, is it too saturated?
Nah, I think you'd be fine.
Do you have to be have 3 million followers to get a client there?
Yeah.
Because there's so many of them.
Yeah, maybe. I don't think you just got to be good at your job.
Yeah. You just have to niche your service to like high-end people.
Yeah. I think you'd do better because you'd be able to do less.
Yeah. Yeah, just charge heaps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't see many jack people get around in France.
No, that's...
You don't see many jack people getting around in Europe. They're all just like, how many sit-ups can I do?
Yeah, only in Scandinavia.
You know, because they eat like 2 meals a day.
Yeah. Coffee and cigarettes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Croissant, coffee,
Yeah.
cigarette.
Pastry, espresso.
And you can't have that till fucking 10 a.m. because the
durry.
cafes don't open.
Yeah,
Durry.
three.
Imagine saying durry in
Yeah,
France.
you got a durry, bros?
Fucking hell.
You got a dozer?
I know you haven't been there, so I don't even know if you know how funny that is. Because it's like, they're so, like... We had to dress how we would probably go to how we went out on the weekend.
Yeah.
Comedy show and then probably go to a bar after.
Mm.
That's like
This is
minimum
good.
standard.
Yeah, that's not it.
Yeah, it's wild. So
Yeah.
the first time we went out, we were like, I just had like,
So I can't wear my oversized t-shirt tucked into my shorts?
probably not. No. You'd be terrifying. Dressed like that. Jacked. Shirt tucked in. Who is this criminal? Yeah, first time we went out, like I wore like Lulu jogger tracky things. And it was just like, nah.
Yeah.
With Jordans. Like, no, not yet. Everyone wears runners, thankfully, because everyone walks.
Yep.
But it was like jeans, jacket.
It's too much pressure for me.
Yeah. You'd have to find a jean brand that actually fit you.
Yeah. I don't like jeans anyway, really.
Me either. Yeah. Okay.
One more?
Yes. When niching your business, how do you move away from the clients you're currently attracting to the clients you want to attract? How specific and how direct should you be in that approach? This is a hybrid face-to-face and online coach. So I think we have
How
to
do you
answer
move
for
away?
both.
Learn how to speak to them.
Yeah. Online, very aggressive would be my answer.
Yeah,
You only talk to this very specific person that you want to work with, and you
Yeah.
only post about the specific person you want to work with, and that's it. In the gym, I don't know.
Gotta
I
get
built
better
mine the
results.
same way.
Yeah, you got to get better. You got to get the gym. You got to get results with those people.
Yeah.
Like if you've got clients now that are kind of like the ones that you want to work with a full book, you've got to
Get mad results.
get mad results, and you got to show people you can get mad results. And like I said to the guys in Standout, like go speak to other people in the gym that fit that mold as well. And like surprise, surprise, a lot of them got sessions with them.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think identify who the person is, and then just go hard.
I think people assume that the person in the gym that is further down the road
Knows what they're doing.
yeah, and doesn't
Yeah.
want PT. And so they never get
Doesn't work that
spoken to. They never get approached.
Yeah,
they
yeah,
never
because
get,
they're just everyone needs structure, accountability.
Yeah.
Everyone, like elite level bodybuilders have coaches.
Yeah.
Tell them how to train and eat shit. It's like
Most
so the highest level,
trainers do.
highest
Sure.
level of the sport do.
Mm.
That means some dude in the gym
Yeah.
is probably going to benefit from a bit of structure and accountability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This person specifically also has a brand account and then a personal account. So if you want to keep your brand kind of not vague, but like, more broad with your niche, that's fucking a perfect scenario because you can just go all in on your personal socials.
Yeah.
And then even your other clients who maybe aren't that are still
Yeah.
killing it and you want to celebrate them publicly and do all that stuff because you should and you want to build community.
100%.
You can just put that through your brand account.
Yeah. At some point, you're going to have to like go all in on attracting a person.
Yeah.
So if you want to work with a bodybuilders, people in bodybuilding, and you want to move away from the general fat loss client,
Yeah.
you have to act that way personally, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Lead by example. Then you have to speak to the people that are exactly the way that who are who you want to work with.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to understand their language, the words they use, not scientific terms.
Yeah.
And then you have to solve their problems.
Yeah. Last one. Face-to-face setting, how often are you proactively seeking new clients?
Face-to-face, all the time.
Yeah.
Lose 12 sessions in a week, guys. I know. It happened to me. Like... and it happened. I lost 12 and I've lost 6. I've lost 8. Like, it's just bang. You know what I mean? Like, just always talking.
Actually broke their fucking leg and couldn't work.
Oof, that hurts.
A while ago. So
yeah,
keep that in the back of your mind.
Yeah,
everyone's going to be there when you get back. So you want to have that funnel happening all the time.
100%. Yeah, I just think like at all times, business has to go. It has to run.
It's so strange to me that there's such a resistance to sell online coaching in gyms.
Yeah.
It's like you can only sell online coaching online.
Yeah.
It's like you have fucking 1, 2, 3, 5 fucking thousand members that you can call. X amount of people on the gym floor that you can go talk to. That you can put on some level of online service if your book's full.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, you should be doing consults every week.
Yeah, I think people, it's the waiting list thing again. It's like you don't have something for people if your face-to-face is busy at the time.
Yeah.
It's like put them online, give them monthly programs. You know, tell them that, you know, in a month's time you'll have a spot for them and give them something to do. Like, it's almost like the dick swing that you want the waiting list. But then it's like most of the people on the waiting list aren't going to wait.
Yeah.
They're going to go and work with someone else because they want their goals done now.
Yeah.
And then you lose 12 clients or 12 sessions in a week and you've done no outreach. You probably don't, actually, you know what? You probably don't have anyone waiting for you because you're not doing any lead gen anyway.
Yeah.
So then it's like, you got to pick up the
football.
pieces.
Yeah.
So you're fucked. You know what I mean? It's going to take, how long is it going to take to get those 12 back? It's like a shop doesn't like close its doors when it's done enough business for the day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, it's not like on,
You've hit budget,
a cafe on the weekend.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, we're busy today. So they just close the doors. They're like, all right, we're going to fucking hammer Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
Because Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday's dead.
Yeah.
So but they still open.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's the same concept. It's like you have to, even when you're busy, you still have to do all the things that you need to do to keep your business operating.
Yeah. So I would assume that this question is predicated on the fact that the book's already full. If your book's not full, it should be every fucking day until it's full.
Yeah, 100%.
If your book is full, I would suggest that you redetermine what a full book means. Probably actually means pulling it back.
Yeah.
Maybe 3, 4, 5 sessions a week to give you back
time.
2 hours, 3 hours.
Yeah.
That allow you to market, consult, create content, do all that kind of stuff. So then you can start bringing people into the gym, doing the consults, getting them on as online clients, and then you replace that income with online clients anyway that take less time, and you're able to continue to build. And you can do that in non-peak times, and you're not held to an appointment with someone every time.
Yeah, definitely.
It's way more effective.
Yeah, if you're getting to that full book stage and you can't see another option of what to do, it's like you need to have a really hard think about how your business is going to scale from where it is operating the way it is now.
Yeah.
So getting that time back allows you to maybe outsource some stuff that you don't want to do.
Yep.
You know, it's going to give you maybe time to build on your business, your ecosystem, those kind of things. Who knows? Maybe put yourself in a position where you might want to bring people into the business to work for you. So then, like you said, you're bringing in clients, distributing them to people. If you just go with the whole like, I'm going to get a full book and then I'm going to lose clients and I'm going to get a full book again.
Yeah.
Like, look 5 years down the track, like,
it's a nightmare.
Well, you're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. For me, that doesn't sit well.
Yeah. I agree. 100%.
Yeah. That's when you're going to look back and do what I did and just go, fuck, I spent 7 or 6 years just doing that.
Yeah.
And then time just went.
Yeah. And that going back to that question of like, what would you do different? It would be just less of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 100%.
Out of that mentality as soon as possible.
Yeah, it's just like build the sessions up, the sessions drop, build them up,
Yeah.
the sessions drop, build them up. It's like, fuck, like, can't do that forever.
If you don't have a full book, then the model that I would put on that is if you're close-ish, however many sessions you want to be doing, you should be doing.
Yeah.
Whether they're paid or free.
Yeah.
And if that scares you and you're like, I don't think I can set that many appointments, then set the appointment goal for your week based on what you want and in a time frame, reverse engineer that. But yeah, I think if you have some clients and you're like, maybe I need like 5 or 10 or 15 more, it's like you should be doing 5 or 10 or 15 free sessions a week.
Yeah, see if you actually like doing that amount as well, because you might fucking think it's the worst thing ever.
Yeah. Awesome. Right. Amazing episode. STCfitlearning.com for everything.
Yep.
Resources, the scorecard, as we spoke about. I don't think that's actually part of the episode. We just recorded an ad for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, go check out the scorecard. So you get a 10-page report full of resources for you to go away, look at, apply to your business. Will make you more money in less time and allow you to work with the clients you want to work with. The scorecard actually gives you an insight into what you're doing well, what probably needs some work, and you can actually measure, okay, is this a business or am I just working casually for my clients as their casual employee, basically?
Yeah.
So check that out. We'll be back next week with Mike from My Strength Book.
Awesome.
We'll be in the studio all the way from Canada. We're going to talk about the app. So that'll be exciting.
Yeah, awesome.
And then the week after that, we'll talk about exercise selection because I said we'd do that next week.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That Michael's coming.
Typical STC Fit style.
Yeah. And our workshop will have already happened. Thanks for everyone that got tickets. It's sold out, our first sold out event. So that's pretty fucking sick.
Unreal.
We are going to be in Queensland the
24th to the 28th.
Yeah, longer, I think. I think the 28th might be the Sunday. Last Sunday of March, we'll be running a workshop in kind of South Brisbane. So we expect all the Gold Coast crew, all the Brisbane crew to be there. Details for that will be out next week, more than likely. So this week for you. So keep an eye out.
Awesome.
All right, guys. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.